Adventure King's XOT4 forward fold camper trailer is a ripper bit of gear that will offer you incredible camping experiences. One of its best features is just how easy it is to set up and to pack away. In this video, I'll take you step by step through how to set your XOT4 up and show you the little tricks that'll make it even easier along the way. And a note, if you have purchased a new XOT4, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, like anything, I'd highly recommend that you take a quiet weekend afternoon or a free day at home to set it up and learn the ins and outs. That way you can hit the tracks, hit your favorite campsites and have the time of your life. Let's get into it. The first step to setting up your XOT4 is to open up the roof rack boat rack. This thing can take up to 100 kilos of weight. Now that's perfect for a tinny or just for bulky camping gear. Let me show you how to open it and close it. To undo the boat rack, first remove these two clips, then pop the two over center catches. Walk around to the driver's side of the trailer and gently pull the boat rack towards you. The heavy duty struts will take over and assist you in opening up the rack. And a side note here, you should unpack the rack before you attempt to open it. Once it's in the vertical position, it'll lock into place and stay vertical. With both of the locking mechanisms on the gas struts disengaged, gently push the boat rack away from you. Support it as it lowers into position and then ensure that it sits on the rubber feet firmly. Lock down in place with the over center catches and replace the pins. So the next step is to open these over center latches. Now, a word on these here, they should have a decent amount of tension on them to hold the lid closed. But because of that, you need to open it nice and slowly because there's a decent amount of tension on it. So just pop it open and we'll do the same with this one, as well as all the others around here. Now, as you saw there, as soon as I opened those latches, the lid did start to want to open. That's because there is all that canvas in there. So you can do it two ways from here. The first thing you can do if you're feeling fit is to lift it yourself. It doesn't actually need a whole lot to lift it, but camping is about relaxing. So we're gonna do it the easy way, and that means using the hand winch. There are two hand winches built into the XOT4. This one here over the drawbar is used to assist in opening the trailer. Undo the hand winch so that there's enough slack to take the strap right up and over the trailer and hook it into this point on the lid. Then use the hand winch to slowly unwind the trailer all the way out. Now, a word of warning there, as you saw, once it got past the vertical, it may tend to open on its own. So never have your hands in there when it's opening because it could be a painful day. Then when it's down, all you do, use the winch to pull it right down nice and tight so it sits right against the strip there. Now we've got the trailer opened up. Before we can jump inside, all we've got to do is drop down the stabilizer legs. Now, a word of warning here, these are stabilizer legs. They're designed to stop the trailer from rocking around as you're moving inside the trailer. They are not designed to lift the trailer or to level it. You should use caravan leveling ramps if you need to level the trailer out. To lower each of the legs, pull on the blue handle and drop the leg into the vertical position, making sure that it locks into place. Then use the supplied hand winder to drop the leg until it makes firm contact with the ground. And another note here, don't use an impact gun because you will risk stripping the gears inside the stabilizer legs. Now you can set up the XOT4 in three different ways: for a quick overnighter, for a long weekend, or for an extended stay. Whatever way you want to set up, the first step before we jump inside the trailer is to go around the outside and just pull the canvas down on all four corners. Now, before you open up the door here, what we're going to do is take out these sections of canvas that zip down either side of the canvas door, and we're just going to push in the press studs. Okay, so whether it's a quick overnighter or 2 weeks at a caravan park, the first thing to do is set up the tent section. Now, there are 6 support poles you need, 4 7s and 2 14s, and of course refer to your pole guide, but I'll give you a little trick. I keep these particular 6 poles separate to the rest of the poles inside the trailer, because even if it's a quick overnighter, these are the first ones that I go for. So just sit them on the lounge while you're traveling, and then you've got them in easy reach when you need them. Then extend each of the 3 tensioning hoops until the tent is nice and taut. One over the rear, one over the front toolbox, and one in the middle. So you'll be using 4 of the number 7 poles that have the white plastic C-clips at either end. Connect them at this point here, and then also at this point here. Then extend them until they're nice and tensioned and lock them in place. Repeat for all 4 corners. Finally, the 2 number 14 poles that have a C-clip on one end and a rubber boot on the other end. Note that the rubber boot sits in these canvas pouches at the bottom, and again, extend until it's nice and tensioned. And another point, don't over tension the canvas. By all means, have the tent set up nicely, but allow it to have a bit of movement so the seams don't stretch and wear over time. So one of my favorite things about the tent on the XOT4 is that for this window at the drawbar, the one at the tail of the trailer, and 2 down the driver's side, you can set them up with their own little awnings above the window. Beautiful for letting the breeze through, keeping the sun out, keeping the rain out, whatever it is. To do either end one, all you need is 2 of these number 8 poles. They've got the little hook on one end of them. And then you also need a number 6, which has 2 holes, one on either end, and just a little plastic end caps. Start by putting each of the number 8 poles in one at a time. The hook end goes into the bottom of the canvas. Then, once they're sitting in place, add the number 6, making sure to put it underneath the canvas of the awning. And of course, we're here in the showroom. However, if you're actually out camping, what I would do is use the pegs and the rope that the XOT4 comes with, slip them over the top of the pins in those poles there, and rope it down nice and tight. How good is that for a setup? Now let's have a look at a long weekend setup with the XOT4, and that involves setting up the roof of the included annex. Start by unfolding the annex roof. Locate the zipper and zip the roof onto the main section of the tent like shown. At the same time that you zip it on, ensure you connect it to the overlapping hook and loop zipper protection to keep the rain out. Leave it to hang down the front of the trailer, and then lay up the poles you'll need on the ground in roughly the right position. Refer to the pole guide in your manual, but briefly, you'll need 3 number 1 poles that have a tab on one end and this small hook on the other, which enter through these points on the tent and hook into these eyelets, as well as 2 number 4s for the outside vertical legs, a number 3 for the middle vertical leg, 2 number 2s that run across the front of the annex, 4 number 7s as additional horizontal braces, and 2 number 5s as extra support legs. With everything in place, don't forget to add the elastic rope support hooks to keep the canvas secured. And there you go, there's the XOT4 setup with the annex, perfect for a long weekender. The annex walls and floors either zip or Velcro together, which means that once you've got the annex poles up and in place, you can then choose to add as many or as little of the walls as you like. When you set it up for the first time at home, and then go to pack it away, you can leave all the annex walls and the floor connected to each other to reduce setup time when you're camping. The small skirt goes along the bottom of the trailer and acts as a wind block, and the optional ensuite room can be set up with the remaining poles and ropes if you like, or just use the door in the tent as a second entry point. And one final note, if you're cooking on your XOT4, you must remove the annex wall behind your kitchen by law, as the enclosure is too close to the open flames on the cooktop and could present a fire hazard. Enjoy your Adventure King's XOT4 forward fold camper trailer. It'll provide you with years and years of amazing experiences and adventures.